Greetings. My name is Abdullah, and I am your teacher for Advanced English from New York City. I want to welcome new subscribers who have commented on previous videos, and inshallah, I will be mentioning them by name within this video. Today's article comes to us from zerohedge.com, and it is very interesting. It is about a character that many of us may know from comic books or from movies or from a series, and it is about the Punisher. The headline is, Woke Marvel eliminates the Punisher due to problematic conservative fan base. And again, this comes to us from zerohedge.com. What is the meaning of Marvel eliminates Punisher? Eliminate means to put an end to something or to remove it. An example sentence. She's very good at Fortnite. She just eliminated 2 whole squads, meaning they are no longer in the game. Another example. He was drowning in sugar and told to eliminate sugar from his diet to save his life, meaning to put an end to eating sugar. Remove it from your diet. Lastly, to eliminate any possibility of another breakout, we have to kill every single last zombie. So again, Marvel eliminates the Punisher means they put an end to him. Why would leftists target something as frivolous as comic book heroes? Because pop culture is first and foremost a playground where children grow up. And by rewriting heroes as social justice crusaders and communists, they hope to indoctrinate the next generation. What is meant by a frivolous comic book hero? Frivolous means something that is not worthy of serious attention. It is of little importance. Don't pay any attention to it. So, for example, to you it was frivolous to collect bottle caps, but it was something that he took seriously. Another example sentence. She was tired of spending money on frivolous things like clothes, so she would only spend her money on real estate. Lastly, Ghassan al-Ghamidi was told that building his own robot drone was frivolous, but when he finished, they were all jealous. So again, frivolous means something that many people do not consider to be important, that people would not give it serious attention. However, one hero figure in particular is seen as so egregious and so triggering that leftists want him memory hold altogether, the Punisher. What does it mean to be triggering? Triggering is usually something that you see or something that you remember, and it gives you negative feelings. It's something that angers you. So let's look at some sentences so we can learn, inshallah. She was triggered by the thought of having to go back to work on Monday, meaning it was something that was upsetting to her she didn't want to do. Likewise, the giant was triggered by the smell of honey, because it reminds him of the time he was attacked by bees. Lastly, Fawaz Umairi was triggered by the memory of a vampire killing his neighbor, that he dedicated his life to hunting them. So again, triggering means something that you remember or something that you see or hear that you do not like, and it makes you angry. And here we see a picture of the Punisher sitting on a couch. The Punisher character, Frank Castle, originally created by writer Jerry Conway in 1974 with artists Ross Andru and John Romita, was a product of a chaotic era, a reaction to the rise of war, stagflation, instability, and exploding crime rates in the US. The Punisher's story is a tragedy of a returning military veteran whose family is killed during what seems to be a gangland hit. With federal agencies doing little to arrest the perpetrators, Castle takes matters into his own hands and begins systematically assassinating the criminals. So, what does it mean that Castle, meaning the Punisher, took matters into his own hands? I mentioned before, it is my goal to make you, inshallah, speak like you are a native speaker of English, and this is an excellent example. To take matters in your own hands means to deal with the problem yourself because other people have failed to deal with it. Meaning, in other words, to do something yourself instead of waiting for somebody else to do it. Let's look at some sentences. She knew she had to take matters into her own hands as she was surrounded by the robot army. So in this situation, she had to take her own security into her own hands. Another sentence. The sniper knew defense of her city was not easy, but she took matters into her own hands and took out the enemy commanders. One more sentence. He always wanted a pet dinosaur since he was young. So Nawaf al-Barqi took matters into his own hands and caught one himself. So again, taking matters into your own hands means it's something that you take care of yourself and not wait for somebody else to do it. The Punisher, as an icon, has been highly popular among conservatives, military veterans, and law enforcement officers in recent years. The trademark skull symbol can be found everywhere, with patches, gear, and flags sporting the image, often as a representation of citizens taking matters into their own hands. The symbol was also seen at the January 6 protests. Teacher, patches, gear, flags, sporting the image? What does this mean? Allow me to explain. Sporting actually means here to wear, especially in public. So for example, when he sported the VR glasses that he invented to his job, he could do the work of 3 people. Next, Floyd loved it when it was cold outside, so he could sport his favorite hoodie in the winter, meaning wear it. Lastly, sporting the number 2. Everyone was looking to Muhammad Fadl to lead his team to victory. So, sporting an image means that the flags had the image of the skull on them. The gear had the image of the skull on them. This has made leftists at Marvel Comics livid. They first attempted to make fundamental changes to the character, including a redesign of his popular skull symbol, as well as taking away his guns and giving him swords in 2021. Instead of fighting against criminal organizations, Frank Castle joins with one, violating his fundamental code of ethics. This made the leftists livid. What is the meaning of livid? Livid means not angry, but extremely angry. A word many of us may know, furious. For example, when she saw the damage to her new car, she was livid. Another sentence. He knew his mother was going to be livid when she found out that he failed the final exam. Last sentence to help us to understand. Venom was absolutely livid when he found out that Eddie ate all the chocolate. So again, livid means extremely angry or furious. This month, though, Marvel officially declared the Punisher persona non grata, eliminating the character as readers know him. Did he go out in a blaze of glory? No. In typical woke fashion, Frank Castle is captured by progressive heroes, chained up and forced to go through a struggle session in which he is admonished as a murderer and a terrorist. Marvel even brings the Punisher's wife back from the dead, only so that she can divorce him and take his money and property, and then inform him that his lifelong crusade against the criminal underworld was all for nothing. And here we see a section of that from the comic. The character then dies from apparent suicide, but the story is left open to his return, just not as the gun-toting hero people know and love. What is the understanding of the word admonished, meaning the Punisher was admonished? Admonish means to tell someone that they have done something wrong, or you admonish someone because you're not happy with their behavior. So, for example, she admonished her fellow soldiers for showing fear to the coming robot army, meaning it was behavior that she did not like, so she admonished them. Likewise, another sentence. Bashar admonished his students about coming to class late. One more sentence. He was admonished for not changing his computer passwords often enough. So again, the word admonish means to tell somebody that they have done something wrong, or the way that they were behaving was incorrect, so you admonish them. Marvel writers, including original Punisher creator Jerry Conway, specifically cite the popularity of the character among conservatives as the reason for his virtual elimination. As Newsweek noted, the Punisher was problematic for Marvel because conservatives liked him too much. He represents the everyman. He has no superpowers. He's not a billionaire like Batman, but he still fights evil with an immovable will and a lot of guns. Let's hang out in the comments over this one. What do you think? What is your opinion? What is your opinion of Marvel changing fundamentally the character of the Punisher? Also, do you think that this is the reason that the Netflix show was canceled, for the same reason? I don't know. In the end, as always, I wish all of you the best in this life and the next. Fi aman ar-Rahman.